is what brings us together today. Marriage, that blessed arrangement, that dream within a dream.
I wanna make you smile whenever you're sad. Carry you around when your arthritis is bad. All I wanna do is grow old with you. I'll get you medicine when your tummy aches. Build you a fire if the furnace breaks. Oh, it could be so nice growing old with you. I'll miss you, kiss you, give you my coat when you are cold. Need you, feed you, even let you hold the remote control. Yeah.
Margaret, your visa application has been denied.
That
And you are being deported.
deported?
And apparently there was also some paperwork that you didn't fill out in time.
Come on. It's not like I'm even an immigrant. I'm from Canada.
Andrew.
Yes, Margaret.
Sweet. Andrew.
I'm listening.
Would you please, cherries on top, marry me?
Okay, I don't appreciate the sarcasm, but I'll do it.
Hey, I just want to thank you guys one last time for being here. It's the best day ever.
Don't even start with me, Franklin. Okay, you need to walk away from this ASAP.
What?
You need to get out, Frankie. Well, this is it, Frank. It's now or never. You need to get out of here while you're still single.
I'm not single.
She's 30 yards away from you. You're still single right now.
Please, no cameras now. Could we hold off photos until the end of the ceremony? Thank you. We are gathered here today. Where's she going?
Don't.
Maggie!
Lock the doors!
Please be seated.
Oh, Jesus, God. No.
Do you take this woman to be your wedded wife?
Jeez, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a big decision, isn't it? I mean, I always said if I ever did it, I was going to do it once, and that was it. Well, sure, yeah. Go ahead.
He'll make me happy each time I see him. He'll be the reason my heart can sing. He'll stand beside me and I'll have everything.
She'll make me happy each time I hold her, and I will follow where my heart may lead, and she'll be all I ever need.
Hey, here we go. The short version. Do you?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Good. You're married. Kiss her.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Did you do this?
No.
There's nothing you can do that that can't be done. There's nothing you can say that can't be sung. There's nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love.
Everybody doing today? Let's give one more big round of applause for Mike and Val. Now, when they had asked me to be the master of ceremonies, I thought, hey, no big deal. Introduce a couple speakers, let you guys know when it's time to head down to the cocktail reception, but no, indeed. In 6-point font, I got an itinerary from Val of the entire course of today's event. Now, I said, of course, I'd love to MC your ceremony, and well, she handed this to me, and I said, that's not really a ceremony, is it? She's like, no, it's more a show-a-mony. So I got to thinking about it. We should probably find an apt name for this event. So we have ceremony on the table. We have show-a-mony on the table. And sticking with that Brangelina theme, I thought maybe we could combine a couple words here. We have wedding celebration, so how about wedibration? Okay, not bad. We got that as an option. And then I thought, you know, I've never been to a theatrical wedding performance. I've never even heard of it. So this may be the greatest theatrical wedding production of all time. With stage design by Lizzy. She paid big sponsorship dollars to get her name attached there. So I say let's take a vote on what this event should be called. And best way to do that is by applause. And thankfully I have an applause-o-meter built into my elbow. So let's go ahead and test it out. So Margie may kill me for telling you guys this, but she and Bob put considerable man hours into the production of your wedding party sticks here. So let's test those out. And she told me to tell you guys, shake those things until they explode today. So let's go ahead, test out the applause-o-meter. All right, we got some shake. Let's get some cheer in there. All right, that's good. All right, so option number 1. Who wants to go for the traditional ceremony? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. The slightly avant-garde show-mony? Okay. The Brangelina Weddibration? All right, who is for the greatest theatrical wedding performance of all time? Stage designed by Lizzy. All right, henceforth, that will be the name of the event. All right, so to let you guys know what you're in store for, we're going to have some speeches, we're going to have some theater, we're going to have some videos. So to kick it off, we're going to learn a little bit more about Mike and Val. We're going to start in their early years. So we're going to bring up those that knew them best when they were young. We're going to kick off with Bob and Margie Shiel, Mike's parents. Val's parents will be up next, Ty and Linda. We're going to bring up Mike's siblings, David, Karina, and Lizzy. And finally, Val's good friend Mel will speak. So they're all going to enter stage right, come across to the podium, give their speech. A little bit of trivia for you guys. I had to ask this morning. So stage handing is from the perspective of the performer, not the audience. I learned that this morning. So stage right. So as they got a long walk across the stage. So if you guys could give them a big round of applause, you could probably get them to wave, blow some kisses. Bob and Margie.
him as a child. And Bob will begin.
Michael, like all our children, is a movie lover. And from the time they were little, they had their favorite movies, like, as you saw, Princess Bride, or High Society, or Breaking Away. But Mike in particular did not like the analysis I would give him after a movie. And I'd ask him, what is this movie a remake of? And he'd put his hands on his ears and he'd go, until one day, one of the happiest days of my life, he came home from having watched the movie and he turned to me and said, "You know what that movie was a remake of?" And if you want to know what movie that was, ask him. And I won't tell you, but he'll let you know whether life is really like a box of chocolates.
And the next letter is I, and we chose introverted. Those of you who know us all can probably imagine we really are kind of the introverted family. Michael, as well as his siblings, Bob and I are a little more broken out of our shells at our elderly age, but still feel that we can claim our introversion as well. Which, because of that, I kind of think that Michael was quiet and calmer now, quiet as a youngster. In particular, wasn't that interested in going out and meeting people or being the center of attention. And so when when he would be babysat by his grandma, it wasn't that he wanted to hang out with her, he wanted to hide from her and let her find him. One time he went into the closet, buried under all the clothes, fell asleep, and Grandma almost had to call the police to help her find him. So that was a little scary for her, but it just goes to show he was introverted. He still, I think, is sort of introverted in a good way.
Next letter is C, and the word for that is comic. Mike is comedic. From the time he was little, he thought he was very fond of scatological humor. And he also loved to, whenever my back was turned, to mimic me. And used to the shock of his siblings, who would say, he's right there, he's right there. But he'd keep going, and I would simply say to his siblings, it's okay, he can do that, that's fine. Well, he knows he's out of the will already, so it doesn't. So he still loves to tease to this day. He gets that from me, and we both get that from my father, who has taught us all we know.
And the next letter in Michael is H. And the word that we chose for that is homeboy. And when he was little, he really wasn't, and he would go out and play with his friends, but he didn't really need to be away from home for very long. And when he was about 10 or 11, he went to a basketball camp in the city with some of his friends, one of whom is here. Dan, where are you? Back in the corner. And Dan can attest to this. So they're at this basketball camp, and should be having a great time, enjoying being away from their parents. Every half hour, he would call us to say, I just finished basketball practice. I'm going to have a piece of licorice. Half an hour later, I just finished the licorice. I'm going to use the bathroom. Half an hour later. So anyway, you get the idea. I think it's not a bad thing to be a homebody myself. And, it's a blessing to be gathered together with family and friends and to be in a home like this theater with all of you.
The letter A is for athletic. Most of you know that Mike is an ultimate player and was a basketball player, and a baseball player, and a soccer player, and probably a few other things that I don't remember. As a boy, he was always competing against his older brother and his Uncle Andy, half their size, 4 years younger, and always trying to keep up and catch up. The biggest thing about Michael when he plays any sport, you may know, is that he loves to lay out an ultimate or dive for the line drive or ground ball in basketball, or to dive after a loose ball in basketball. He spends more time on the ground and prone than he does standing up in those sports. I had great fun coaching him. He's a great kid to coach. He still brings that kind of athleticism and fun of the game wherever he goes.
We're almost finished. E. We chose for E, we chose easygoing. I think those of you who know Michael can attest also to the fact that he has a quiet, calm demeanor. He keeps his cool in difficult situations, and he doesn't really lose his temper. He doesn't lose his temper in the heat of a game, and or in a moment of playing sports. And Bob and I have broken the code to tell if he is upset when playing Ultimate. We pass it on to you. He takes off his hat. He doesn't throw anything, he doesn't kick anything, he doesn't say anything. Watch for that. It's not true.
Finally, we finish with the letter L. And that stands for loving. Michael has always been affectionate, willing to give us hugs and kisses from the time he was little. He would always snuggle close to us as we watched movies on the sofa. And one of the most rewarding things that Margie and I have seen as parents is how much Michael loves his siblings and how much David and Carrie and Michael and Lizzy spend time together and enjoy each other's company. And nothing could make us prouder of that, and nothing could make us prouder of the fact that all of you are their Michael's friends and Val's friends, and that means a lot to him and it means a lot to us. Thank you very much.
I just also wanted to say, in reference to trying to decide how to describe the wedding, Schultz, he did such a good job. I just think it's a blessing to all of us to have our children, our friends, our relatives, Michael and Val, choose to spend their lives together, to be married. And I would just like to say, God bless you for a happy, double happiness, long life.
Ty and Linda Mann.
Hi everyone. We have pictures showing Val from when she was born up until now. Okay, while you're looking at the pictures, we would like to share the story of how Val came to this world. Okay, it was a very dramatic event. The day she was born, the Montreal transit system was on strike. It was evening around 6 o'clock. I told Ty, I said, I think it's about time. We have to go to the hospital. So Ty, meanwhile, was trying to call a taxi, but he was unable to because of the strike. So he went to our neighbor's house and asked Andrew if he could give us a ride. And Andrew said, no problem. Off we went on his truck. You notice that I don't remember much because I was in pain. So we got on there and he drove us to the hospital. The hospital is about half an hour away from our homes. So he was driving erratically, passing through all the red lights and the cars. And Tyler said, slow down, you're going to get us all killed. And he said, don't worry, I have a plan. So he kept going and going. And then he saw a policeman with a sidecar. He zoomed right in front of the policeman and stopped. And the policeman way over and said, was going to say something. He pointed at me and my stomach. And me and the policeman go, okay. So right away he went to his motor car and called the police ambulance. Okay. And then when the police ambulance was coming, he stopped off all the traffic, four-way traffic, blocked it all off for the ambulance to come. So we got on there, Ty and I, and Val. And when we got on there, we went to the hospital, and then she was born, okay? 2 days after she was born, the nurses went on strike.
So that was good. Anyway, so and for my guys, right now I'm going to use a few words in Chinese to tell the story as well. 係已經出世嗰日咧，佢溫超就去巴士去嗰啲罷工，係咧，所以咧我哋翻嗰個的士嗰度叫我個鄰居車埋佢啦。個鄰居咧就OK，我車你去啦。點知咧佢就係咁揸，係咁衝紅燈。我點解你喺度衝紅燈啊？佢話：哇唔緊要，我有計劃，你唔使擔心。咁佢點知咧佢衝咗紅燈之後咧，佢見到警察點解佢？喺警察前邊，個警察行埋嚟，哇！喺邊邊，我覺得佢就逢蘇六眼，就好想食咗我哋咁樣。但係嗰個 Andrew 就話喺指住啲手，當堂嗰個警察咧就當堂好似一個好美貌嘅笑容，緊要，佢就即刻叫警車，叫啲12車人車咗我哋去。所以咧係演員出世嗰陣時係非常之得意嘅，同埋咧佢個因為嗰2日之後咧，嗰啲護士都 on strike too， 同埋罷工。仲有一樣嘢咧，就想話俾你聽。頭先開頭嗰隻歌咧叫做 Tonight We Love 啦，就係 Catalina Valenti 唱係呢個 Italian singer。Valentina 個名就係咁樣嚟嘅，因為 Catalina 咧我叫做 Catalina， 所以就 Valentina 我就叫 Valentina， 所以就用咗佢頭，用咗佢尾，所以叫個名叫 Valentina。I just want to say another thing about the song Tonight We Love. That's how Valentine's name came about. The song was sung by the Italian singer by Catalina Valente. That's how she get her name from. Valentina Valente. It's Catalina Valente. And you can imagine how I got the name. Of course, it's a very European name from Europe, Valentina in Russia or in Italy or in any European country. So at this moment, I just want you to know that all the picture I have done for about a week, they use it for 4 minutes. Thanks very much, and then all for you coming, and then 好開心你哋全部嚟參加佢嘅婚禮，多謝你啊！因為你哋會有啲喺香港嚟，有啲喺美國，有啲喺加拿大，好多謝你哋嚟到參加嘅婚禮。Thanks very much for all for coming, because I know that you guys have come from all over the world, especially my sisters and my aunt. They both from Hong Kong, and my sister, number 7 sister from Montreal. And all over from everybody from North America, any corner of the world. Thanks.
In honor of all the large families here, we thought we should introduce ourselves with our numbers. So this is David, she's brother number 2. And I'm Karina, sister number 2. Michael is number 3, and Lizzy is number 4. We were asked to talk about what it was like growing up with Michael, and my favorite story about Michael as a kid was when I was about 10 and he was about 8. And he had been downstairs watching the Chicago Bears football team. And it was getting late, so he was asked to go up to bed. And so he came up and he turned on the shower and started warming it up. And he ran into my room and he was so excited about what he had just seen of the Bears team. Tom Waddle just made this great play and he just had to show me what happened. So he ran down the hall and he flicked in the air and landed on the bed. And he was like, oh, it was even cooler than that. Let me do it again. And after about 100 times of him trying to get it perfect, he ran down the hall, flipped in the air, landed on the bed, and his feet went through the window. And there was this like silence. He just kind of eyes opened up real big and nobody said anything. And then we heard Bob call, Michael, are you in the shower? And Michael runs and he's like, yes, yes! Fortunately, he didn't hurt himself. He was fine, but the window did shatter. So Michael's always been funny and silly, as you can tell from his whole performance. When he was younger, Bob had talked about he was big on riddles, big on scatological humor. It's amazing to us how he developed this ability to throw in movie quotes or song quotes into regular conversation. And we really wished we could have come up with a talk that explained Michael in movie quotes, but then we realized that he's the expert, not us. We couldn't do it. But really, that's what this whole show is. It's so much Michael, and so we're happy he did it this way.
Just a few things that I remember about Michael. Mark and Bob covered a lot, but you know, when I was little and Michael was little, he always wanted to hang out with me and my friends. And you know how he didn't say much, so instead of saying something, he wanted to be part of the group, he would bite my friends. So he would go around my friends like, your brother's biting me. So I'd be like, just hold it back like this. You'll be alright. So, and also, you know, we all know Michael's athletic, his quiet perseverance. I think he's always had that from when he was little, and one of the things that I remember playing with Uncle Andy and I, and again we saw watching the Bears game, and there was it was first and goal, you know, Bears were on defense, they shut down the team on offense on the goal line, they did not get in the end zone, and we thought that was the greatest play ever. The greatest series, 4 downs on the goal line, did not score. we had to reenact that. Andy and I were the Bears defense. All the time, Michael had to try and score. And we just would drive him back into the ground. This is the living room with a marble table right there. We'd just drive him into the ground, and he would always come back and persevere and try and score. For hours. And but as he got older, he played baseball, soccer, basketball, but he finally got into ultimate. And one story I remember is that the first ultimate tournament I went to, we learned to play by watching our Uncle Dave play. And we went to watch our Uncle Dave play at a World's Tournament in Toronto. But Michael was such a homeboy, we left him at home. And he never forgave us for that. He didn't come. Oh, wait, that's our 4 minutes, we're not done. And last off, as a homeboy, he eventually grew out of it because when he went off to college, none of us in our family took him to school. We sent him off with a guy we just met who happened to be driving through town. And he's like, oh, I'm going that way. I'll drop him off at school. That's kind of the gist of it. We kind of knew who this guy was, but so this guy took Michael to school. Jay, just Carrie Lou's husband, Carrie Lou's here. But anyway, he was Michael's ultimate mom for a week. And his surrogate, take to school dad.
Well, since our time's pretty much up, I just wanted to say that I've always looked up to Michael.
Take all the time you want, Lizzie.
Michael's always been a big role model for me, so of course when he's playing Ultimate, I wanted to play Ultimate. Also, he's always been there for me, and so it's been nice that the last 5 years I've gotten to live with them. It's been such a blessing. In the last 3 years I've gotten to live with Michael and Val, so I feel pretty special about that. And I just can't be more excited for the both of you today.
Final words of advice. We had to fit something in that was related to a movie. So our final words of advice are, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. To the family!
Val's good for Mel and surprise guest.
Hi everyone. I've known Val for 30 years, so I consider her the sister that I never had. My parents consider her their second daughter, and Michael, that makes you my new brother-in-law today. Val's other sister, Wanda, couldn't make it to the wedding, so we decided to do a video instead so she could be part of the ceremony. Right up.
Friends ever since. People at school used to get us mixed up because we were both cute Chinese girls and we'd be together all the time. I was really sad when she left our school in grade 3. Who knew that we'd still be friends 30 years later?
Hi, I'm Mel, and I met Val in grade 3. We met at Garden Grove School, which is actually the place where she met the first boy she wanted to marry, named Sean Krenz. We weren't her first choice, but she definitely made the right choice. Val and I bonded over playing Barbies and dancing to Wham and singing Whitney Houston songs to each other on the phone. And sometimes, unbeknownst to me, she would put her dad on the phone while I was singing my heart out, always telling me what a good job I did. So thank you. Val stayed with my family when she came back to do her engineering degree at the U of M in 1997. Physically, she had changed a lot. No more skinny little Chinese girl, no one would mistake us now. But inside, she was still the same sweet, polite, loving girl that I first knew, or so she appeared in front of my parents. We also got a dedicated personal trainer
Each time I would slouch, she would slap my back and tell me to stand up straight. So more of a drill sergeant than a personal trainer. Despite the fact that Val was our personal trainer, she also liked to eat, which is another way we bonded. We would bond over pizza and runny eggs eaten out of a margarine bowl. And we aren't the best cooks, and we learned things together, like you don't have to bake Rice Krispies first. Val and I also bonded over Shania Twain and painting in her apartment, whether it was her coffee table or pictures to hang on her wall. For my wedding in 2009, I asked Val to be my maid of honor, and she, without hesitation, she said yes. She was the best maid of honor that anyone could ever ask for. She arranged my wedding shower and my bachelorette party, all from Chicago. On the night before the wedding, she made sure to discuss the birds and the bees with me, just in case I didn't know what was going to happen. So what more could you ask for in a best friend? One of the things that I love about Val is that she takes me out of my comfort zone, even though I protest a little at first sometimes, and she makes me do things I wouldn't normally do. And we also travel, which is something Val loves to do, but I don't do as much as she does. And we've gone to places like Parliament Hill, Niagara Falls, a Navy ship in Victoria, the Notre Dame Basilica, and Montreal, and various adventures like blueberry picking. It's amazing that we stayed friends for all these years. We called each other for every single birthday for over 30 years. Val, one of the things that is so evident about you is your humility, and despite all of your accomplishments, and there's many of them, you're so generous and you don't hesitate to help anyone in need, and I've certainly been on the receiving end of that, so thank you for all you've done for me. You're thoughtful, you're beautiful, you've inspired me to do a lot, and your friendship has been such a blessing to me. So congratulations, Val and Mike. We wish you all the best in your new journey together, and I think Juan and I can both say that Val, our friendship has stood the test of time. Opposites do attract, and long-distance relationships do work. So Michael, Juan and I have had 6 years with her, and I hope you have that and more. Congratulations.
Let's give one more big round of applause for the first set of speakers. Alrighty, everyone, we've taken a retrospective look back at Mike and Val's youth. Time to move into their troublemaking adult years now. We're going to segue this with a short video describing a little bit about how Mike and Val met, and a little bit about the sport of ultimate frisbee, which I know a lot of people in the room play. I played a game once in a parking lot when I was young, so I'm excited to see what this sport is all about. Are you guys ready with video?
This is the story how you guys met.
I have absolutely no idea.
There was a time when Val was single and Mike was single, and it's what we call a lot of us refer to it as the courting of Val.
My recollection of the situation is that Val was somebody who was looking, and Val had options.
Several of us went out dancing at Matilda's.
I went to Chicago to visit Valentina, and I fell down the stairs.
So Mike and Bill were both coming out of the airport at O'Hare at different gates.
I've heard plenty of stories how they met, but none of them are appropriate.
Michael used to come over and try to hit on me when I moved in with Val.
You know, I didn't make much of it. Frankly, a lot of people try to hit on Val.
I'm not exactly sure how or when it exactly happened.
He ended up, just because I wouldn't even talk to him, I was always busy flirting with Doobie, he started talking to Val some, and I guess they hit it off.
Michael ran to see if I was okay, and Valentina ran to see if I was okay too.
And Val was carrying her frisbee, of course.
Probably am at least a top 3 factor, if not the #1 factor for them getting together.
Mike found that
Canadian mail order company.
And it rolled out of her hand and it landed at Michael's feet.
When their eyes met, they fell in love. So it's all because of me that they're getting married.
At one point, he turns to me and looks me right in the eye and says, "Sally, I think I'm going to beat that guy up."
And of course, in the end, Mike won, and they've been together ever since.
I think Val was actually the pursuer.
And we knew Michael liked Val.
Val comes and grabs Michael and says, "Can you walk me home?"
He put the moves on her, said some lovely words, and the next thing you know, they were going on dates and madly in love.
I thought they met over a Patagonia order.
They used to play frisbee together, and then after some time they thought, let's play frisbee with each other.
I was going to say something, but I can get nervous. I love Nemesis, and I love Michael Shiel.
I think I can get chills watching Ultimate Frisbee video again. All right, so we've taken a great look again at the first part of their lives. We've learned how they've met. Now to introduce the next group of speakers who will again come up and talk about some of their past formative years into their adult life. We're going to kick it off with Mike's good friends, John and Mike, followed by Carol and my beautiful wife, Jessica. Carol, you're beautiful too, and guys, you are good looking as well.
my college roommate. Apparently he was dropped off by strangers the first time. I didn't know that. What I did know is that we were living in one room that was like the size of probably this, and there was 4 of us in there. And Mike was the last one to arrive, and by the time he had arrived, I was placing a lot of hopes on him. Because the other 2 guys were fine, but not people that you were going to be lifelong friends with. And so I sort of invested the idea that Mike coming was going to, save things. And really he did, because there couldn't be a better guy to have as a roommate than Mike, because he's just so chill. The other day on NPR, there was a story about how roommates affect your mental health, and if you have a really good roommate, it's sort of the same experience as traveling abroad, because you get exposed to a different worldview. And I sort of think that, being with Michael for 4 years has been like that. It wasn't just that Shiel was a world-class athlete who was willing to spend hours and hours teaching me to throw a forehand. And it wasn't just that when he showed up, he just seemed like this absurdly cool guy who knew all sorts of older people at Notre Dame and knew where all the good parties were. Although that was helpful too. I think pretty much every party I went to the entire time I was in college either started or ended at the Ultimate House. And it wasn't just that Mike coming along sort of introduced me to Bob and Margie and the larger DiLorenzo and Shiel clan, although that helps too. John picked the photos. But I was going to say that it's sort of like having an extended family when you get to know them. But sort of maybe the best part about getting to know Michael, as an 18-year-old trying to figure out how to balance work and school and social life, or even as a 25-year-old trying to figure out how to put all those things together, or a 30-year-old, Mike's always had a real balance and equanimity about his life and the way that he handles things. For as long as I've known him, that he's handled his work and play and sports and relationships about as calmly and smoothly as humanly possible. He's always had a lot going on in his life, from bouncing classes and coordinating and captaining the Notre Dame Ultimate Team, to being a house parent for high schoolers at Boys Hope when most of us couldn't parent ourselves, and pursuing a graduate degree and working full-time and captaining a nationally competitive Ultimate Team and dating Val. But at every stage of his more or less adult life, he's handled it all without seeming stressed or worried. So it really is sort of like being at some other, more chill country. And so for me, knowing Michael, that's been the takeaway. And it's been one of the great pleasures of my life to have him as one of my best friends for the past 15 years.
Now, unlike Oak here, I don't have any really great story about meeting Mike Shiel. I came to know him much more gradually, probably evidenced best by the fact that it was more or less junior year before I figured out that the people he was calling Margie and Bob were actually his parents. But during college and in the time since then, Mike has really been a central part of my life and a great role model. His ability to remain calm in stressful situations often confounds me, but I always try to remember, especially when I feel like I'm starting to get a little hot under the collar, which practically never happens. And sometimes Mike can actually seem somewhat infuriating and calm, like the time he asked for some help moving to his new apartment, and I showed up at 5 p.m. on the last day of his lease, and nothing was packed. I think I actually wound up more stressed out about that than he ever was. But for me, the thing I think that I always have admired most about Michael in the time that I've known him is how generous he is with his time. Whether it's for his family or his friends, he always makes time for all the people in his life. As Oak suggested here, he certainly has a lot going on, but he always finds a way to be wherever it is that his friends and his family are. Whether it was getting changed into his suit on the side of the Indiana Toll Road so that he could make a wedding in South Bend the Saturday morning after the last night with his housemates at Boys Hope in Evanston, or flying out to South Bend for Oak's 21st birthday at the summer that he was living in Providence. Michael's always there, whatever you need. And for those of us that call him his friend, that means a lot.
Love's going to leave.
Cheryl and Jessica.
Hi, I'm Carol. I met Val at Rush University Medical Center in 2005 when she moved from Canada to join our lab as a PhD student. We hit it off almost instantly and became great friends. One of my first memories of meeting Val, there was a lot, but the one I can talk about today, was her asking me something like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I remember I told her I had a potluck dinner to go to, but I had no time to prepare a dish. I really didn't know where I'd find the time. She had offered to prepare an entree for me and bring it to my place, and she insisted. Here was this person who was practically a stranger offering to do all of this for me. And over the years, this is just the kind of friend that Val has been. Kind, caring, thoughtful, sweet, and generous. Over time, Val became involved with Chicago sports teams like Ultimate Frisbee and met a lot of new great people. One day, I remember her mentioning this guy named Michael that she had met through Frisbee, who was affectionately nicknamed something like the Heartbreaker. I thought nothing of it. Then, she confided in me that she had a feeling that this Heartbreaker character was chasing after her heart. Well, you could imagine my reaction. I had to meet this guy just to see what this Heartbreaker character wanted with my Val. I was expecting to meet this macho, egocentric, loud character, and that the Pat Benatar song Heartbreaker would be blaring in the background. But upon meeting Michael, what did I see? I saw someone who was gentle, humble, soft-spoken, kind, caring, and thoughtful. This guy wasn't out to break Val's heart at all. Instead, he was out to capture it for good. And when Michael finally did, and they began dating, I saw that they were a perfect complement of one another. I saw pure love and happiness. Now, of course, this is one of my perspectives of how Michael and Val met, but I'm sure Jessica here has a completely different story to tell. So, yes?
Well, the featured picture here of Val and I may make it seem like we were childhood friends, but alas, the little girls were just a random picture we found in an elevator. Val grew up in a distant land called Canada, so we would not meet till much later in life. The year was 2005. We met during Frisbee practice and became friends instantly. I had two hobbies at the time, Frisbee and matchmaking, and Val appealed to both. Our Frisbee team was quite bad that year, so it was refreshing to have a talented, dedicated athlete join the team. And I also instantly had a boyfriend in mind for her, but she had a boyfriend at the time. She did, however, become my matchmaking assistant. And I don't recall if we had any success stories, at least as a team. But we did make a good Frisbee team. So she would run fast and I'd throw to her. That's pretty much the gist of it. I could always count on her to laugh at my jokes. Thanks. Wear silly outfits with me. And she worked so hard on and off the field. She was an inspiration to her younger teammates who often wondered, how can someone that old and that skinny run so fast and jump so high? You could also see that she could take a mean hit, whether it was the floor or a defender or whatever. She's very tough. Her training off the field guided her to a new sport, the sport of fitness, otherwise known as CrossFit. She's still one of the oldest and skinniest competitors in the field. She holds her own. What Val lacks in youth and overall body mass, she makes up. She makes up for with her heart, drive, and determination. No matter the sport, she's always the biggest cheerleader for her teammates. Val's selfless and supportive nature makes for the quintessential teammate. Whether it be sport, matchmaking, maid of honor duties, and she is the greatest maid of honor of all time, helping to start and run a business, Val has always been my go-to teammate. You'll always be my gal, Val gal. And you look so beautiful today. But I'm not done. Sorry. Which leads me to my next story. That starts with Val, Sands' boyfriend. It was like a feeding frenzy among the Chicago Frisbee boys. And Akira was right, she had options. All were vying for their chance to be Val's next boyfriend. I'll be honest, my matchmaking skills did not pull through during this time. I had my radar set to blonde buff dudes. The good news was my matchmaking assistant was working some magic of her own. She began spending time with the Shiel Doobie household. It started with game night. Val and Michael began spending more and more time together. I remember her asking me, "Do you think he likes me?" To which I replied, "I don't think he likes you, I know he likes you." They kept their budding relationship on the down low in the beginning, but as time passed, their love for each other was both obvious and undeniable. For those of you who don't know Val well, she's a bit on the high-strung side. Her resting heart rate sits right around 80 beats per minute. To see what I mean, just watch a scary movie with her. It's like the carnage is happening right there in your living room. When I knew Val and Michael were meant for each other was when she said that she felt calm around him. His easygoing, peaceful nature helped calm her heart. And while Michael calms Val's heart, Val makes sure that Michael elevates his heart rate by dragging him to the gym a few times a week. The two do their part to keep one another healthy. Val and Michael, may you spend the rest of your days providing peace and encouraging help to one another.
All right, guys, one more big round of applause for the latest speakers. They did a phenomenal job. Now, Mike and Val obviously have done an amazing job planning this, the greatest theatrical wedding production of all time, with set design by Lizzy. But they've had some help as well. So let's give a big round of applause for Kelly and Luke up on the booth there. They've done a lot of our production. And as much as Mike and Val have planned, we're going to wrestle control away from them for a moment and show a video that they knew nothing about. They've been surprising us. So it's time for us now to surprise them.
Some words that would describe Michael Shiel.
Want to play?
We don't know Mike.
He's very easygoing and very kind and warm-hearted.
Friendly, playful, and does a lot of things with other people.
Well, some people, they just wake up every day and it seems like they're good at stuff. And in Michael's case, it seems like he might be good at everything.
As far as Michael goes, also loyal. I would have let Puddin out a long time ago and just said I lost her.
Humble, athletic,
peaceful and thoughtful. He's just really good to his grandparents.
I think he measures worth and the worth in his own life largely in terms of the positive impacts he can make in that world. I don't think he's motivated by a lot of the things that society is motivated easily, like flashy things and money or like stature or whatnot. I think he really grounds himself in his family, obviously, and the community and people around him, but I think he grounds himself in relationships and grounds himself in those kinds of positive qualities that he can bring to the table or that he can kind of elicit from other people and tease out of them to help them be their better selves.
People love those two.
Mike and Val are two of the nicest, most generous people I've ever known, and two of the most loyal friends that I have. They're both genuine, kind, genuinely kind.
I love Valentina and Michael.
To us, she's the most precious thing in our life.
Val is a very loving, caring, fun person to be with.
Intense.
I think she's a very kind person. Yes. I think she's very generous with her friends and those around her. Very caring.
I'm gonna say jacked.
She loves challenges, so she wants to meet it and exceed it.
I think she is very selfless. I think she thinks of other people before herself.
A great friend.
I think she looks beautiful. She got it from my wife, and then she has the mental toughness. If she wants something, she's gonna get it.
Very motivated, very kind, and generous with her time and her things.
Focused.
I do not know anything about Val.
Loving, jolly, very frank, honest.
Hardworking.
I've seen the videos and I'm kind of jealous, to be honest.
When I think of Val, I think of selfless and very generous.
Intelligent.
She's a wonderful person and would do anything for anyone. She's loving. She's very
Do you have any advice for Val and Shiel? What do you have to say?
Gecko.
Gecko?
Bongo.
Bongo? What else?
Even though my birthday's on the wedding day, I'm just excited for the wedding pretty much.
Val, don't worry. Your wedding is only one day. It'll be fine.
Do you ever need some exercise? We have some weights you can lift.
It's your special day. You should just dance like they do in Bollywood movies.
May you both have that deep commitment to one another and never forget the love you share.
And thank you for Michael's family, because I know she's going to be in good hands.
Every July 6th from now on, Michael will be my favorite and Val will be my favorite.
Just come to Canada once in a while. They're very nice people.
Happy wedding, Doggy.
Michael, show some emotion. Let everyone know you actually are very excited to be here.
Dad, congratulations.
Cheers.
Peace out.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you. Yay!
We wish Valentina and Michael a happy wedding.
Michael, welcome to the family.
Congratulations and welcome. Congratulations, Valentina and Michael.
Welcome to the family.
I wish you the very best.
Yeah, I just want to express myself like Michael always expressed himself to me. You guys are going to be really happy together. You're going to have a very long and happy life, many kids, lots of cats.
First 4 years of marriage.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It's awesome that those two found each other because they seem to fit really well.
Congratulations, Michael and Val. It's going to be awesome.
Well, I'm sure her grandparents, great-grands, looking over them from up there and wishing them all the happiness.
根据一个非常著名的中国谚语，简号恭喜你嘞，艾洛和麦克，1多年的幸福和好运平安。
So congratulations, Mike and Val. Enjoy today.
All our wishes and love is here with this video to you.
Congratulations on getting married.
I guess this wedding is probably the best thing that happened to Chicago, other than the Stanley Cup.
We certainly wish them peace, love, and happiness, one of their themes.
Congratulations, Valentina Michael. Congratulations, Valentina Michael. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, Michael.
Why need a green card? Yes, you know I do. Alex and Mary Ellen, Jesus, she's so cute. Bettina, Ballerina, Mango, Bicycle, Santa Maria, Mary. July 4th, Surya comes that day, I eat all of the tea that I sent so much scream. I can't run from you. Sorry, a boom, a war, something and Mary. July 14th, 8 days.
everyone so much for showing your love to Mike and Val. It's that time in the greatest theatrical wedding production of all time to get down to business. So I'm going to turn the mics over. If Father Tom McDermott and Luke Johnson would take over for me. It's time for the ceremony.
I'm glad I didn't wear my extra mitre, since the first guy in the video would already look like a real good priest. They asked that we would begin with a reading from the Apostle Paul's letter to the Corinthians. If I speak in human and angelic tongues, but do not have love, I am a resounding gong or a clashing cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy and comprehend all mysteries and all knowledge, if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give everything I own, if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but I do not have love, I gain nothing. For love is patient, love is kind, it is not jealous, it is not pompous, it is not inflated. Love is not rude, it does not seek its own interests, it is not quick-tempered, it does not brood over injury. It does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. My friends, there have been amazing plans, obviously, for this ceremony here. The greatest whatever, yeah. Planned by Lizzy Shiel. Lizzy, she looks like a doll today, right? Lots of work, lots of show. To try to bring our minds and hearts to pay attention again to the deepest truths and the most compelling mysteries of life, which are found in true and faithful love. Val and Michael, from all that we have seen and heard this afternoon, have been so very blessed to know what is most important in life. For this love they have witnessed and tasted in the lives of their parents, their families, and their friends. And now they have found this love as a gift that they can give to one another. They asked us to read this small excerpt from the ancient letter of the apostle to his early community, to remind us all that this faithful love, this unlosable love, this perfect love, this love that made the sun and the stars, is the very love that God has for each and every one of us. My friends, our life is a gift. Nobody picks their parents. Nobody chooses their birthday. It is all gift. We are the children of God, of God's love. And when we share in love, as Val and Michael have pledged to do, we are living the life of God. We are living in God, who is love. Now, you know, Christians have a kind of crazy way of talking about God. From our earliest educations, we are taught that God is a Trinity. 3 in 1, 1 in 3. And if you asked about it too much, the old nuns in school would just say, sit down and shut up. It's a mystery. But what we want to say is that all of life is a love story. And at the heart of life is a communion of love. Diverse persons, fully equal, and completely united as one. So may the life of the sweetest, deepest mystery, the life of love of God, diverse, equal, and fully united. May this be the compelling truth of this marriage. And may the love of Michael and Val continue to be a gift and an encouraging light to us all, as it is so much this afternoon. God bless and keep you both.
I want to say thank you for allowing us to be here today on this day and everyone else here to share in this experience with you. There's 3 things I want to impart on you. Just 3. You can count these on your finger. Pretty simple. The things I've been working on with my wife for 3 years. The 3 things that my dad gave me on my wedding day 3 years ago. First thing that I want you guys to really say, and say it a lot, I love you. Second thing, I'm sorry. And the third thing is I believe in you. Those 3 things are critical, and I would urge you to remember those 3 things. At this point, we're going to have you guys share in each other's vows. So I'm going to have you guys come on over and into the middle here.
I, Michael, take you, Valentina, to be my wife. I promise to love you through all life's joys and challenges. I promise to bring support in times of sadness, forgiveness in times of hurt, hope in times of despair, and at all times, love. It is in giving these, and most of all, loving you, that I find fullness in life. I love you.
These vows were written by Val and Mike.
God, Tina, with you, Michael, to be my wife, no.
This is a very modern deal.
I promise to love you through all life's joys and challenges. I promise to bring support in times of sadness, forgiveness in times of hurt, hope in times of despair, and at all giving these, and most of all loving you, that I find fullness in life. I love you, I'm sorry, and I believe in you.
We're going to finish with a little blessing here. My dear brothers and sisters, let us humbly pray to the Lord that on these his servants, now married in Christ, he may mercifully pour out the blessings of his grace and make of one heart in love those he has joined by a holy covenant. Now, it's not like magic, but I'm going to put this stole on as a sign of the prayers of all the Christian people and ask them to bless and pray with us. And maybe you can either stay where you are, you can stand up, or you can put out your hand or something and join me in this blessing, please. O God, by your power, you have made all things out of nothing. In the beginning, you formed humanity in your own image, and you made man and woman inseparable helpmates to one another, that they might no longer be two but one flesh. And you taught that what you were pleased to make one must never be divided. Look now with favor on these your servants, joined together in marriage, who ask to be strengthened by your blessing. Send down upon them the grace of the Holy Spirit, and pour your love into their hearts, that they may remain faithful in the marriage covenant. Look with love upon this woman, your daughter Val. She asks your blessing. Give her the grace of love and peace. May she always follow the example of the holy women whose praises are sung in the stories of our ancestors. Look with love upon this man, Michael. May he entrust his heart to his wife and recognize that she is his equal and his heir with him to the life of grace. May he show her due honor and cherish her always. O good and gracious God, keep them always true to your commandments. Made one in the flesh, may they be blameless in all they do. Give them the strength that comes from the gospel, that they may be witnesses of what is true, of this true love to others. Bless them with children and help them to be good parents. And may they live to see their children's children. And after a happy old age, grant them the fullness of life with all the saints in the kingdom of heaven. We ask this together through Christ our Lord.
So it is our pleasure to introduce to you for the first time. I guess we need a kiss, don't we? You guys want a kiss?
Let's give one more big round of applause for our performance here. I was going to say it's time for the party to begin, but the party began a long time ago, so we're just going to carry it forward. Let's give a big round of applause to everyone that was involved in the production of the greatest theatrical wedding production of all time. Kelly and Luke and everyone involved. I wasn't on the speaking roster, but hey, I'm the one holding the mic, so I just wanted to say a quick word to Mike and Val and expound on words that others have spoken. But you'd be hard-pressed to find two more genuine, caring, giving individuals as Mike and Val. So I applaud you guys for the individuals you are, and I and we wish you the best of luck in your lives together. So one big more round of applause for Mike and Val. So moving forward, you guys, we'll change the venue. A cocktail reception down on the second floor. I've been told the bar is open and hors d'oeuvres will be served. If a lot of you could hang around, and actually everyone in the crowd, if you could hang around for one picture, is the official photographer here? Oh. If you wouldn't mind jumping up on stage, and if everyone, if you could get your wedding party sticks up in the air, let's get a couple shots of the entire group here.